This is Ian Miller,
What's going on, guys? It's Andrew.
and welcome back to Media Talk with Miller and Smith, Season 3, guys. How have you guys been? Sorry, but we've been away for a while. A lot has happened pretty much in our lives, nothing major or anything like that, just stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time we finally got to record this, actually. So thank God we're back. Uh,
We missed you guys.
yes. Like my smart co-host here has said, a lot of stuff has been going on in our lives. So thankful to be back. Happy to be back. Talk about all this stuff that's been going on, and happy to share it with you guys.
Yeah. Before we get to some of the bigger topics tonight, why don't we actually discuss a little sports, just to break up the usual mundane weekdays. So, Smith, why don't you lead us off?
Thank you, Ian. So, as many of you know, we'll just go a little briefly on football has ended. Super Bowl happened. It was an interesting game. It was a fun game. Towards the end, it was a nail biter.
Mm,
Um, Unfortunately, the team that I wanted to win did not win, but you know, um, it did go to the Kansas City Chiefs. Um, they were It was well deserved. Patrick Mahomes is something else. So all of you Kansas City Chiefs fans out there, Patrick Mahomes, what he's done over the last few years, winning 3 Super Bowls already, 3 out of 5 chances, 2 in a row actually.
mm.
So his team is looking to go for a three-peat next year. So we'll see if that happens. We kind of want a new team to win it next year.
Yeah.
Change it up a bit, but I mean, these Kansas City Chiefs are hard to beat. So um, we'll see what that does next year. But overall, it was it was a good season, fun season. You know, Jets and Giants fans not so lucky. Hopefully next year, but we'll see what the team does next year. And we'll see what the upcoming draft does for the Giants. Personally, you know, as a Giant fan, I would like them to take a quarterback, but I'm not the GM of the team, so I think you know if they want to keep Daniel Jones, he's got to prove himself. So we'll see what they do in the upcoming draft. Uh, Keep you all updated on that. Um, Baseball season is upon us now. Spring training has started. It's been a couple weeks for spring training. Um, Yankees team is looking very good. Um, Mets team is looking good as well. But for all the Yankee fans out there, including me, we got Juan Soto. I should point that out there right now. We got Juan Soto. Uh, Unfortunately, he's here for a year. Hopefully we sign him in the off season. 25-year-old player, future Hall of Famer. A guy like that is gonna require a lot of money, but as of right now, we should just focus on this year and enjoy the year of Juan Soto on the Yankees. So we'll we'll dive into that, in a later episode once the season gets started. But I just wanted to point out there that we got Juan Soto. So we'll see what that's like in the season. But overall, should be a fun season for both Yankees and Mets fans. Um, you know, Unfortunately, a lot of upcoming free agents for both teams, like Pete Alonso, will be done with the Mets also after this year. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, just looking forward to another great baseball season. Hopefully, it comes our way, or hopefully a 2024 Subway Series. We'll see. A Subway World Series, I should say. Subway World Series. But take it day by day, game by game. But um, we'll see what happens with that. And looking forward to talking about more sports and getting into the baseball season. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So since that is covered, hopefully we actually get some. It's gonna be interesting the next couple of months, especially with the baseball season starting. It's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, um, the pitching looks good. The hitting looks good. Um, Obviously, some teams, there's always room for improvement, but I'm very excited for this Yankee team, and with people that we traded for, signed for, like Marcus Stroman, who's in the pitching rotation now. Looking forward to seeing what he does. Um, you know, our Cy Young Award winner, Garrett Cole. Hopefully, he goes back to being Garrett Cole like he was last year, and looking for a bounce back season with the pitchers in the starting rotation. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that turns out this season. But very excited for this season.
Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should actually. Well, we should actually watch one of the games and actually do a on spot comment on it.
Yes. If you guys want that, just comment and we shall do that. Maybe we'll go to a game and we'll do that.
Yeah, just to change it up a bit. I think.
Yeah. I mean we'll record it either live or we'll do it at a game or something like that, and we'll should be a different experience. So if you guys want that, we'll definitely do it for you.
Yeah. Okay, on to entertainment stuff. A lot has happened. We did see a couple movies. A couple of them you may have heard about.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so let's get into that. The first film we did see was Argyle, the Matthew Vaughn spy comedy with Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell. Yeah, when we saw it, we didn't expect much because of the critics' reviews as well as the audience reviews. But again, we judge the movies for ourselves. We don't listen to the critics. This time the critics were actually correct.
Yeah, they were. I mean we talked about it on here a lot that we have to judge it for ourselves, that we don't really listen to the critics or whatever that they say it's negative reviews. But we like to go and judge it for ourselves. But absolutely, I mean they were right this time actually. So wasn't it was kind of for me, um it was kind of uh, top 5 worst movies that I've seen.
Yeah, not the worst, but not the best.
No, I mean it definitely wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best either.
Yeah, the problem was it didn't know what it was. It wasn't.
Mhm.
It was never. There was never really a balance between the comedy and the spy thriller and the action. I liked a lot of the action sequences. Don't get me wrong. The comedy was there, but there wasn't a significant balance. It wasn't like with the Kingsman series, which the director is known for.
Yeah, and I believe that they may want to cross over between that and Kingsman. I mean, they did
Yeah,
tease that a little bit.
yeah, but the problem is it's done by two different companies, so I don't know how that's going to work.
They always find a way.
Yeah, yeah. So love the lead actress. She's always terrific.
Oh yeah. Um,
Looks
I mean,
much better as a redhead, if I'm being honest.
yeah, yeah, I agree. She's definitely much better as a redhead. um, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, Henry Cavill is like up there as one of my favorite actors, but Superman and everything. But this kind of wasn't really. I thought it was going to be more of him in it than what it was.
Yeah, I do like the concept of an author, writing these books, and the bad guys are interested in what how her story is going to end.
Hmm.
That was interesting. I just felt the execution just didn't stick with me. Yeah, but what can you do?
I mean, it's very different when you look at a trailer and you think, "Oh, this movie's gonna be really good," and it's got Henry Cavill, it's got like all these most of these award-winning actors and actresses. But then when you actually see the movie, it's like, "Oh, this wasn't what I was expecting in the trailer." I mean, this they totally did it like the complete opposite.
Yeah, yeah. That usually happens when they have test screenings. When they have stuff in the first trailers, then
Hmm.
they go through test screenings saying, okay, this works for the audience. This didn't work. Let's just reshoot, reorganize, re-edit some things.
Right.
Sometimes the films that the filmmakers really wanted to make, they get lost in the editing. In the editing,
Mhm.
it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, but it is on Apple Plus right now. So if anybody's interested or just curious about the film, you can see it then.
And just to just to say we could have actually saved our money and just watched it on Apple TV,
Uh,
which we didn't know at the time. So that was
no,
partially
no,
our fault.
yeah. Next time we'll just go to straight to the streaming, see if it's on there. Save us the $12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another movie that we could have saved the $12 was Sony Pictures' Madam Web. This is yet another Spider-Man spinoff without Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I did not have the chance to go with you guys because unfortunately I came down with the flu. So I really didn't have the chance to go with you guys. But you did seem pretty frustrated when you talked to me about the movie when it was done.
Yeah. Folks, here's the thing. When you're a writer, like myself, and you're watching movies, especially in the theaters, you tend to like to rewrite, certain scenes, saying maybe this flows a bit better. With this movie, I was rewriting the whole thing. I got the chemistry was there with the lead actresses. It was there. The villain's motivation, on the other hand, it wasn't clear to me. He was trying to target three specific women because of who they become in the future. He kept saying, I have to protect everything I build. The problem is, what if you build? There was never a clear, explanation on that. Was it a criminal organization? Was it a company that you built? It did not make any sense. It was interesting to see that the film was set in 2003, where I can clearly see 2015 and 2020 cars in the background. But again, That's only for certain city scenes. I understand that. I get that. A lot of times you can't have control of that, so I get that. Um, the original plot for the film, which sounded interesting, they should have made that movie. They shouldn't have, just did what they did. But again, that's either through trying to accommodate the studio, or there's a number of explanations.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've read, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I never saw the movie, but also it was out there that Dakota Johnson, it felt like she didn't belong in that universe.
No, she did not. And the problem was she thought, as well as some of the actresses thought, that they were signing up for the MCU. They clearly did not read the script or the contract very clearly. And I think the problem was, trying to, keep away the whole Spider-Man storyline. It really hurt the film
Mhm.
because I think it should have been clear it was set in a particular universe. They should have made that clear.
Yeah, I mean, you kinda have to it's before, like, going into something, you gotta at least, like, read, like, if you're gonna be if you're gonna be in, like, the MCU or you're gonna be in a standalone movie or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I just couldn't see that it was actually gonna fit in the MCU,
No,
but, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it turned out pretty bad, but I don't know. I mean, Sony hasn't really been doing a great job with these Spider-Man spinoffs, except for Venom, which
yeah, and of course the Spider-Verse movies.
right?
But then again, that's technically with Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think the spin-offs are a good idea, but I think you need to have some connections to the
mm,
actual character,
yeah,
and depending on what universe that you want to say it in, you know, you could certainly this could have been set, even the Andrew Garfield series, if I'm being honest,
hmm
because there was potential there. This was before Peter Parker is even come, of age, because he's not born yet in this in Madam Web. So that could have been easily set there. But
but
again,
You mean Peter wasn't born in this movie, or
yeah, he wasn't born in this movie
got
yet.
it, got it. Okay,
So it could have worked that way.
true.
Eh, but unfortunately, it was what it was.
I mean, if this is what I mean, I hope it's not, but if this is what it's gonna be like for future, if they plan on doing future Spider-Man spin-offs, like the next one is gonna be Craven, um, who is being played by Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Um, he wasn't my first choice, but I just hope they don't screw this up like they did with Madam Web because I played the Spider-Man 2 video game, which we'll get into in a little bit. Um, they just can't mess up Craven. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a really you know I'm trying to think of the right word to describe him. Um, he's very villainous, I should say. Um, but with a guy like that, with a villain like that, they just hopefully they don't mess him up like this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. In fact, I actually think they could make this particular spinoff part of the MCU Spider-Man with Tom
Mhm.
Holland. They could.
It could, I agree. Um, which I mean, I think they're probably gonna put Venom in the MCU, right? I mean,
There has been some talk of that, yeah, but I'm not sure that's actually gonna be actual thing to be. You know, forget the word I'm looking for. I don't think it's actually gonna. It's not solidified. That's the word.
okay, yeah,
That's just not solidified yet.
okay. Well, I mean, I mean, I think they started filming Venom 3 now, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was Madam Web. The last one we saw very recently was Dune Part Two.
Yeah, I mean, I did not see part one. Ian, Ian and Andrew Feller had to catch me up on part one, but I enjoyed. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, fella did try to explain the plot, but I was like, okay, I had to explain it a bit further, because he's missing some plot points here. But when we explained the movie to Smith, he's like, okay, now I see what you're getting at.
Hmm
And when we got into the theater, the first 10 minutes, you pretty much caught up.
Yeah,
Point.
yeah. I mean, in the beginning, I'm like, okay. I mean, what's kind of going on? Like, I gotta. see the characters a little bit, familiarize myself with the characters, and then okay, so he's trying to protect his people while trying to defend, trying to fight off the bad ones. So yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of caught on as the movie went on. It kind of reminded me a little bit of kind of like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Kind of. Um, yeah, I mean, it didn't really like the ending didn't really turn out like a Star Wars thing, but the whole
No.
plot mostly kind of reminded me of Star Wars a little bit, how he was trying to protect his people and everything. So
Yeah. 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 You have to remember Dune predates Star Wars
yeah,
because this is a series of books,
hmm
and the last few was definitely written by the original author's children,
okay.
just to sort of continue the story, the legacy, and all that. And I'm very glad that you did not see the '84 version of Dune, which less is talked about. It does have a cult following, but less about talked about that is better.
Yeah, I like I said, I didn't see part one, but what did you think of? Like, which part did you like better, part one or part two?
I have to say part two because part one I felt was a bit slow because you're establishing a new world to the audience. They necessarily hadn't seen the '84 movie. They hadn't read the books,
Hmm.
but you're establishing a new world. So yeah, you had to slow down a bit just to say, here are the characters, here are the worlds that they live in, here are the rules,
Hmm.
and let's see what happens. And there wasn't a lot of action in part one, whereas part two, you're taking on a huge bulk of the book, and there's a lot more action scenes,
Yeah,
and there's a lot more character development. You were starting to get that near the end of part one, but you got a bit more in part two.
yeah. I have to watch part one, probably later on in the weekend or whatever.
Yeah,
But no, I agree. Part two had a lot of excuse me, a lot of great scenes in there, action scenes. Kind of like Oscar worthy scenes, I guess, from all those like the way the actors were acting and everything. Especially especially Austin Butler that he when he was in the movie. I mean, he was just full on psychotic and crazy in the movie, but he did a really, really great job.
yeah. He was apparently inspired by actors Heath Ledger and Gary Oldman.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. So I mean
Yeah,
that sounds right.
yeah. You could definitely see Ledger's influence as the Joker from The Dark Knight in Butler's performance
Hmm.
because he is that terrifying.
Yeah,
He is that menacing. Yeah, the set design was spectacular, like it was in part one. I'm very curious to see where the third film goes,
hmm,
which is actually based on the second book, Dune Messiah.
right. And part two was pretty much the first books. Part one and part two is the first book.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm sorry.
that's right. That's right. Go on. Uh, the popcorn buckets for Dune Part Two. I don't know what they were thinking. That's all I'm gonna say on that because it's just yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know what the hype was about. I mean,
It's weird.
a little bit, yeah.
But again, that's as far as I'm going with that discussion.
No, I get it. When you kind of see like those movies that have those special like popcorn buckets or whatever, you kind of think, oh, it's pretty cool. I kind of want a popcorn bucket myself. Because I kind of still have mine from Infinity War, or Endgame, whichever bucket they came out with. I still have mine.
Yeah.
Um, but the Dune 2 one didn't really seem that exciting for me to get. So
No, 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 no. I'm tempted by a Ghostbusters one, but maybe I'll get one. When Frozen Empire comes out in 2 weeks,
Mhm.
we'll see.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. So that
Yeah,
should be a great movie.
yeah,
Um, so if you guys have not seen Dune 2 yet, go see it now. You will not regret it. I will say it's long.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not a 3-hour movie, but it feels pretty long. But it's definitely you won't regret watching it. It's definitely worth it.
Exactly. Okay, so that covers the movies right now. Let's say she talk about Spider-Man 2 on
Oh
PS5.
boy. Oh boy. Um, okay. Well, I know you haven't played it yet, so I
I,
won't give a lot away, or not really that much away. Um, okay. It's I will say that Spider-Man 2 is way better than the first game. Um, the villains you do have in there are Kraven the Hunter and Venom. Um, you have Peter and Miles back in this game. Trying to think like what I can say without giving it away. I will say that it's very intense, very very fun filling. You don't want to put the video game down because I believe it's a very long game. It's a long game. It's if you played it straight through, it's probably about 20 to 24 hours. I've heard if you played it straight through. Um, but I will say, kind of the plot is, you know, without giving too much spoilers away, it's Peter trying to deal with, Aunt May being gone. Um, she after she got killed, she died in the first game. Um,
Spoilers.
okay, I would hope I would hope people played the first one by now. If not,
I'm just playing, folks. I'm just playing. I'm pretty sure you played the first game.
I would hope a lot of you people out there have played the first game. If not, please mute. Oh, I should have said that before,
Oh
but
well.
spoiler. Sorry. So anyway, um, Peter's trying to deal with Aunt May being gone. He did move into Aunt May's house. I will say that. Um, so he's just trying to deal with the mortgage and everything like that. Um, I mean, I will say that he does. Mm, I probably shouldn't say this. It's too much of a spoiler. Um, but it does. Okay, I'll just say that Harry does come back in the game because they did tease it in the first game.
Mhm.
So Harry does appear in the second game. So um, very excited about that happened. So as Harry comes back and you play the game, you'll see where their relationship goes. Getting to know each other again. After he's been gone for a while, what they missed or what Harry missed. Um, but overall, it's pretty fun. Um, Venom is, you know, Venom's Venom. He did a really great job in this game. He's fast. He's you know very terrifying, and Craven was actually very well done. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you have not played it, play the game. Um, you will not regret playing it. It's so much fun. It's so action packed, so thrilling, intense, all that stuff. So I know you want to play it too. You have to get a PS5 first.
Yes, yes.
I've been telling him for all these months, folks, to get the PS5.
You know how much they cost? I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best
It's
I can.
it's a little less now than what it was, but
Well, I'll take a look at it again, and maybe I'll get it maybe in a couple months. We'll
but
see.
yes. So if you have not gotten the game, get it, play it, and you won't regret it. So that's all I'll give away right now without giving all the spoilers out. So
And speaking of other video games, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League has been going down in ratings and in sales.
yeah.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, it was in development, for during the pandemic,
hmm
and apparently the online services are, weren't great. Uh, yeah, I don't know what happened, but people have been not liking it, and in fact, a lot of the players are going back to Arkham Knight
Yeah.
because in their mind that they felt that ending for Batman was better than what's happened in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I mean, Suicide Squad takes place, I believe, 5 years after Arkham Knight.
Yeah,
Um, which to me, I think they should have just left the Arkhamverse alone. Um, they shouldn't have made this into the Arkhamverse or whatever it is. But I mean, I really couldn't tell you how, what happened, or I don't know, because I never played the game.
yeah,
So because it was really that bad.
yeah. I think I agree with you. They should not have said, "Oh, this is part of the Arkhamverse." I think if it was a separate thing,
hmm
separate universe with different versions of Batman, Superman, the entire Justice League, I think it would have done better. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Like separate universe, I think it would have done much better. Once they saw, I, I mean, this is my opinion. I don't really think that this was the issue or whatever. But I feel like once they saw, like it takes place in the Arkhamverse and it was 5 years after, and then they see Kevin Conroy back as Batman, in Suicide Squad. You kind of figured like, what's going on? Like, what's his role in this now? I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion, but
Yeah, I
I
did get hints of the plot. Justice League's been taken control by Brainiac.
hmm
I thought, okay, great idea. Interesting idea, interesting
hmm
concept. I just don't think some of the execution was just worth it. You know, if it's causing this much turmoil between the fans of the Arkham verse games, and also I recognize the same developer, but it's got different game programmers. I understand that, but
hmm
I felt the quality. I looked at the imaging. I felt the quality from Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad. I thought the quality went down from Arkham Knight when
yeah,
they did Suicide Squad because you just look at the imaging and you're like, okay, this seems a bit half finished. I'm not disrespecting the game designers. I'm not. I'm just saying the quality it wasn't all there.
yeah. I mean, no, you're not completely wrong. I mean, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, um, I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, I never played the game,
Mm,
but I wish it could have just been a little bit better. Uh, I don't know. Like I said,
yeah,
another like a separate universe, standalone universe, whatever it was.
yeah. I always thought it should be an interesting video game was the Justice League versus the Suicide Squad.
See, that would have been an interesting game. I would have played that one.
Yeah. Well, I still would have played Suicide Squad, if it was, if players were actually excited about it, they're not excited
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, I remember you and I even did a tweet on Twitter to James Gunn saying, you should do the Zack Snyder Justice League as a video game and hire Rocksteady to do it. So that way, the actors don't necessarily have to get back into the costumes. They can just voice the characters.
Exactly.
We never got a response back.
Yeah, no, we never did.
Oh God.
James, if you're listening, I mean,
Ugh.
our offer still stands. I mean,
Yeah, I doubt he's gonna listen, man. I'm pretty sure he's like, yeah, we're not gonna, go ahead with that. As of right now, he's actually in production for Superman,
yeah.
which they actually just finished shooting in Norway today.
Oh, okay. They had another title, I believe, right? They changed their title.
Yeah, it was originally Superman Legacies, so they just switched it to Superman.
Okay. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we talked about this on an earlier episode, but I'm just we have to see how the Superman really does, because we can't really judge him until we see him. But
Yeah, I'd like to see him in the full costume. I like to see a bit of a bit of a trailer, but I'm very excited about the cast, and I'm glad James is directing it. You know, he's a very good storyteller, and I'm very excited about the film.
yeah, yeah, me too. I'm just very interested in his direction and seeing where he goes. Um, so we'll see. And a cast member who I that has returned. I forget who he's playing, but one of my favorite actors out there right now, Nathan Fillion, is going to be in the new Superman movie. So
Yeah,
that's very exciting.
yeah, he's actually playing a Green Lantern, Guy Gardner.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay.
Yeah, and oddly, ironically enough, he's actually voiced Green Lantern in some of the anime projects.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's actually
That's awesome.
played Hal Jordan.
So he's got experience
Yeah,
with the
so
Green Lantern.
yeah, I'm very excited for Nathan. Wish he did Uncharted though, but again, that's another story. This is another story.
That's another story. This the short that he did was awesome, but
Yeah,
we wish he could come back as Nathan, but
it's all right. I like Tom Holland. You know, I'm okay with it.
yeah. They did. Mark Wahlberg actually gave an update on that a couple weeks ago, saying he has not seen the script yet, but he has heard that they're writing it and it's pretty good. So
Yeah, so here's hoping to that. Here's hoping it's good. I'm
hmm
excited about that. And yeah, let's talk about the Zack Snyder interview
okay,
with Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan.
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of posts about some comments that Zack had made, especially in reference to Batman's no kill rule. Why he decided to break that. Um, yes, I admit it's a controversial, thing, but let's be honest, folks. It's a different universe. This Batman, he may have had the no kill rule, but you have to remember he was very much different when that movie started.
Yeah,
He'd already lost a Robin to Joker, and he was seeing, Metropolis, just in pieces, as well as a Wayne Enterprises building filled with people that he knew. You don't know what that does to a person. You don't know what their mindset is at that point. And let's face it, yes, it is controversial, and it was still one of the best Batmans we've seen,
hmm
just by performance. And it had a redemption, in that story, especially when he was about to kill Superman, and of course, the Save Martha line. And then he's like, you just look at his face, and Ben does a great job in that performance where he's like, what was I about to do? I was really going to cross that line. Then, of course, the warehouse scene. Yes, I get some of the thugs did die. I get that. I get that. I get. Yes, but still, it was a pretty cool fight. That's the first thing, and I think you have to understand the directors will have different interpretations on how they see these characters.
Hmm.
Yes, Christian Bale's Batman, yes, had the no kill, rule, except a couple of people. I don't know how many they did die. Not directly, yet not him directly killing them. Obviously, I mean he didn't just save Ra's al Ghul. No biggie.
No biggie.
Then of course we have Michael Keaton. But let's face it, he did kill some people. I mean, bombing Axis chemicals with some of these Joker goons,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and none of us were bothered by it. I wasn't bothered by it. So why are you guys bothered by it? Again, this is different interpretations. Directors had different interpretations. I think Zach made some bold choices. I mean, Superman killing Zod. I understand why he did that, because Zod was not going to stop.
No, he wasn't.
I know some of you people were like, "Well, why did you just fly him up in the air?" I'm like, "Do you think that would still would have stopped him? He would have just beamed down at the people on the ground." And yeah, so yeah, some of those choices were bold. Some of them I don't agree with, but I accepted them because this is a different version of the characters.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, they were just starting out. They were trying to figure their identities out. Superman was trying to figure his identity out in Man of Steel. So by the time Dawn of Justice comes, he understands the risks. He understands the sacrifice he has to make
Hmm.
to save everyone else. And Bruce is starting to regain his humanity through the course of Dawn of Justice. And you start to see him start to form the Justice League in the next movie.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I really just look at these as redemption stories. That's the first thing. And also, you're telling these character stories, these mythical comic book character stories, in a very realistic, real world scenarios. Any thoughts on what I just said, Smith?
No, I mean you're throwing a lot out there, which I agree with every word that you said. Um, but I mean, going back to what you said about that scene where they were fighting, where both Batman and Superman were fighting, and then you just hear "Save Martha," and then you just you know Ben or Bruce hears that um, what's the word? Here's that sentence, and there's like how 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 crazy is it that he has the same mother's name as him? And just what goes through you know Bruce's head at the time, like as you all know, like his obviously his mother died when he was a kid, so there was really nothing that he could do to save her. But I guess in his mind, like a redemption story that you were saying, like he couldn't save his mother, but maybe he could save Superman's mother, and have some what's the word I'm looking for? Um, I
Well,
guess
I guess closure, if I think it was a
yeah,
word for it, but also it does redeem himself a lot.
right. That I think that was the word I was looking for. Redeem.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, just hearing that, and then and when you see him in Man of Steel, like you said, he's Superman's just trying to figure out who he is in the world.
Yeah.
Where he came from, an alien planet, and then coming down to Earth or Metropolis, whatever it was, just trying to figure out who he is and what he, what's like. what his symbol is that he has to be in the world for these people.
Yeah. I actually did cover a lot of this in a fan audio drama that I wrote, which
Yeah.
is Batman versus Superman: Road to Redemption. It's told by Bruce Wayne's perspective, and there's a link at the bottom if you guys want to take a listen at it. I was trying to, just feather some of the ideas that Zach was presenting in the movie.
Hmm.
Also, just expand on, just the idea of what Bruce's mindset is in this movie. Hopefully, that'll help a lot of you guys saying he can't kill, he can't kill.
Well, I mean, he doesn't like to kill. He doesn't want to kill.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, going like you said, going back to Michael Keaton. Um, I oh, I gotta remember that now. He did not kill Jack Nicholson's Joker, I believe, or did he? I don't.
Well, he actually just fired a bull around Nicholson's
Yeah,
Joker's, ankle.
yeah,
You
that's
know, still, yeah, you could see it as killing him. Obviously, you could see that.
yeah,
I did think he was trying to stop him from getting away,
right.
but yeah, Joker still fell. So yeah. Then you have the in the second film that scene where Batman's holding the bomb,
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
sticks of dynamite. A punches one of the circus people, sticks it in the guy's belt, the bomb. Guy smiles and just knocks the circus guy into a hole and it blows up.
yeah.
Never bothered me. But again, I understand what hardcore fans are talking about because he's not like in the comics. I get that. I get that.
Hmm. No, I get it. I understand that too.
Yeah, but you have to recognize this is a movie. Everyone's up for different interpretations of the character.
Yeah.
So I think everyone should just calm down. You know, you got Matt Reeves who's doing no killing for the Batman. So I don't see the problem here.
I mean, it's just like he wants to live by like a code,
Yeah,
of no killing. I mean, I kind of get where where fans are coming from. Like, I know, like he lives up by this code of no killing, but I I think fans are like, well, if it's really necessary and he has to, like he's got to kill. I mean, but you
yeah.
know, the fans,
It's a slippery slope.
yeah.
It's never going to be an easy discussion to have.
Mhm.
This topic, but you know personally, if my view on the whole nuke killing thing, I agree. I don't think he should kill. I don't.
Mhm. Yeah.
But again, movies, you want to, you have to be a bit realistic, and that's what Zach was doing. He was being realistic here.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
let's face it, Ben's Batman was not on a rampage for a bloodshed.
No.
He was close a couple of times, but that's about it. Anyway, that's my take on the topic.
Well, yeah. No, that was a pretty good take. If any of you have any of your own takes on what Ian has just told us or said, just give us your thoughts on it. We want to hear about it as well.
Yeah. And if you are curious about Batman versus Superman Road to Redemption. It's actually on the link below the screen. It's by Newverse Creative. They're very great storytellers, so give it a listen. Yeah, so I think that's about it. I will mention we did see a trailer for a new Indiana Jones game recently. Maybe
Yes,
you
we
know
did.
about this. It's called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Hmm.
It's
Yep.
made exclusively for Xbox.
Not for PS5.
No. I hate to say, I've watched the trailer a couple of times now. The gameplay looks pretty sick, even if it's in first person. But you still get that third person, gameplay, especially if Indy is climbing,
Yeah.
something, or throwing the whip at something, because the game designers want people to see that famous silhouette of Indy in the hat, the leather coat, the bullwhip, the whole works.
Yeah. I mean, it the likeness of Indiana Jones of Harrison Ford was just spot on in that trailer. Unfortunately, it is not voiced by Harrison Ford, but it will be voiced by Troy Baker, who's done a lot. He's done Uncharted, he's done Last of Us, so pretty good actor,
Yeah,
voice actor.
yeah. He's also played the Joker guys in Arkham Origins.
Oh yes, he did. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
so
did.
he's a very talented guy, and if you just hear his performances in the, and of course hearing Harrison Ford performing in the, it's very hard to tell who's who.
Yeah. No, but I mean, personally, I thought it would have been a very good game to play, but unfortunately, it will not be released on the system that I have. So that's a little disappointing.
Say Levy.
And just one more thing I want to touch on. Earlier last month, we did actually see a trailer for Deadpool versus Wolverine.
Yeah,
That trailer did not give too much away. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see more, but from what I've seen, it um, pretty epic. Pretty looking forward to it. You know,
yeah,
from what you see, Wade brought back Vanessa, went back in time, stopped the guy from killing her. Um, this is why you shouldn't go back in time because stuff really kicks you in the ass.
yeah. Especially when you're getting, pretty much taken by the TVA.
Yeah.
Those guys from Loki.
You know those guys, right?
Yeah. So some crazy stuff happens in this in Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm very excited about that. Very excited about it.
Yeah. Um, you do see, you don't really get to see Wolverine in the trailer, just his shadow. So,
Yeah. I hope it's like a buddy cop type of deal. You know, it's like a messed up version of Lethal Weapon. I hope it's like that.
yeah, I agree. It should be a pretty good team up.
Yeah.
We've been wanting it for a while, so they actually gave it to us, so we'll see. And it'll be his first appearance in the MCU, so that's exciting also.
Yeah. The question now will be is will they continue it? But we'll see.
You never know.
All right. I think that's it for us.
Yeah, I believe so. If you liked any of our topics that we covered tonight, just leave it in the comments. You know, whatever we talked about, whether it was the sports or it was the movies we went over the reviews. Um, the the Zack Snyder, the Zack Snyder one, the trailers we saw. So any of those topics, anything you want us to go over, or in the next episode, just leave us a comment.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for us. I'm Ian Miller,
I'm Andrew Smith.
and this has been Me Talk with Miller Smith. Have a good night, folks.
Good night, guys.
If you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.